Welcome to the presentation on wathiq. My name is Khawar Nehal. I am the CEO of Applied Technology Research Center, and we shall be discussing the secure document management system. Thank you for taking the time to see this presentation. I'm excited to introduce to you wathiq, a new approach to document management, where trust is not just hoped for, it is engineered into every step of the workflow. If you have ever lost hours chasing the final version 3 version of a document, or worried about whether a shared file meets the compliance requirements, or questioned whether your sensitive research data is truly secure, this presentation is for you. Over the next few minutes, I will walk you through the problem we are solving, how wathiq works, and why now is the time for the solution, and most importantly, how your perspective can help shape what wathiq becomes. This is not a sales pitch. It is an invitation to co-create a tool that puts trust, security, and control back in your hands. Let us start with the reality most knowledge workers face today. Document workflows, the backbone of research, education, compliance, and business operations, are fundamentally broken. We're not talking about minor inconveniences. We're talking about systematic failures that cost time, create legal exposure, and undermine collaboration. When version control fails, teams waste hours reconciling conflicting edits. When compliance processes are manual, organizations face regulatory penalties. When data sovereignty is not guaranteed, institutions risk breaches and reputational damage. And when teams juggle 5 different tools to get one job done, security gaps emerge. This is not hypothetical. These are daily pain points for researchers managing grant documentation, educators handling student records, IT teams enforcing policy, and compliance officers preparing for audits. The status quo is not just inefficient, it is risky, and that is why we are building wathiq. Let us zoom in on one specific pain point, version control. How many times have you opened a document only to wonder, is this the latest version? Or spent 20 minutes merging comments from 3 different collaborators, or worse, sent the wrong version to a stakeholder. These are not just annoyances. In research, a mislabeled dataset version can invalidate months of work. In education, an outdated policy document can lead to procedural errors. In compliance, an untracked change can trigger an audit failure. Traditional cloud storage gives you version history, but it does not give you verified version integrity. It does not cryptographically prove that the document version 4.2, for example, is authentic, unaltered successor of version 4.1. wathiq solves this by embedding cryptographic fingerprints into every document iteration, so you always know exactly what has changed, who changed it, and that the chain of custody is intact. No more guesswork, no more final version 3 revised docx. Compliance is not optional, but the way most teams approach it is dangerously manual. Think about it. How do you currently prove that a student record was accessed only by authorized personnel, or that a research data set has not been altered since its submission, or that your IT policies were followed during a security incident? If your answer involves exporting logs from 3 different systems, cross-referencing spreadsheets, and hoping nothing was missed, you're not alone, but you are at risk. Regulations like FERPA for education, GDPR for data privacy, and CMMC for defense contractors demand auditable, tamper-evident records. wathiq bakes compliance into the workflow. Our pre-built templates align with common regulatory frameworks, and every action, view, edit, share, or approval is immutably logged. When audit time comes along, you are not scrambling. You click Export Compliance Report and deliver a court-ready document in seconds. This is not just efficiency, it's also risk mitigation. Data sovereignty, the idea that data is subject to the laws of the country where it is collected or stored, is no longer a niche concern. For universities collaborating internationally, for research institutions handling sensitive participant data, for organizations operating across borders, knowing where your documents live and who can access them is critical. Many cloud platforms store data in multiple regions by default, creating unintended legal exposure. wathiq gives you control. You choose the data residency options that align with your institutional policies and your legal requirements. Whether you need data to stay within national borders, within a specific cloud region, or under participant governed access rules, the wathiq architecture supports this. This is not just a technical feature. It is a trust commitment to your stakeholders, your partners, and the regulators. Let us be honest. Most teams do not use one tool for document management. They use a patchwork. Email for sharing, Google Drive or Dropbox for storage, DocuSign for approvals, Slack for discussions, a separate platform for compliance tracking. This fragmentation is not just inefficient, it is a security nightmare. Every handoff between tools is a potential leak point. Every duplicate file is a version control risk. Every manual export is an opportunity for error. wathiq consolidates these workflows into a single, trust-engineered platform. Upload once, verify automatically, collaborate securely, report instantly. You're not adding another tool to the stack. You're replacing the stack with one coherent, auditable, secure system. That means less context switching for your team, fewer integration headaches for IT, and stronger governance for leadership. So who is wathiq for? It is for the research team managing multi-institutional grant documentation who needs to prove data integrity to the funders. It is for the university registrar safeguarding the student records while enabling secure collaboration with advisors. It is for the IT security leader enforcing zero trust policies across the document workflows. It is for the compliance officer preparing an accreditation review with confidence. In short, wathiq is for any professional or team where document trust is not optional, it is foundational. We did not build this for generic business users. We built it with input from the very communities who face these challenges daily. That is why our features, our workflows, and our priorities reflect the real-world needs, not hypothetical use cases. Our work depends on documents being accurate, secure, and auditable. Then wathiq is designed for you. Now let us talk about the solution. wathiq is not just another cloud storage platform with a new coat of fresh paint. It is a fundamental reimagining of document management from the ground up, with trust as the core architectural principle. We combine three powerful capabilities. First, AI-powered verification that automatically checks document integrity, metadata consistency, and provenance. Second, audit-ready workflows with pre-built templates for education and research compliance, plus immutable activity logs. Third, secure, aligned collaboration features that give you granular, participant-governed access controls and flexible data residency options. Together, these are not just features, they are guarantees. Guarantees that your documents are authentic, your workflows are defensible, and your collaborations are secure. This is what happens when you engineer trust instead of assuming it. Let us dive deeper into our first pillar, AI-powered verification. When you upload a document to wathiq, we do not just store it, we analyze it. First, we generate a cryptographic hash, a unique digital fingerprint using SHA-56 or SHA-3 standards. Even post-quantum cryptography standards are available. This hash is mathematically tied to the document's exact content. Change a single comma and the hash changes completely. But we can go further. Our AI models trained on document provenance patterns and anomaly detection, scan the metadata structure and content signals to flag inconsistencies. Was this document edited outside the approved workflows? Does the author metadata match the claimed source? Has the file been altered since its last verified state? The system answers these questions automatically. This is not about replacing human judgment, it is about augmenting it with machine-scale diligence. You get alerts when something does not add up, so you can investigate before a small issue becomes a major breach. Our second pillar is audit-ready workflows. We know compliance is not one size fits all. That is why wathiq offers pre-built workflow templates aligned with common frameworks like FERPA for student privacy, GDPR for data protection, and CMMC for defense research. But templates are just the start. Every action in wathiq, like who viewed a document, when it was edited, who approved a change, is recorded in an immutable activity log. Immutable means these records cannot be altered or deleted, even by administrators. This creates a court-admissible chain of custody. When audit season arrives, you're not manually reconstructing events from disparate systems. You simply select the relevant time frame and regulation, and wathiq generates a comprehensive formatted compliance report with one click. This saves hundreds of hours, reduces human error, and gives auditors the transparent, structured evidence they need. It turns compliance from a reactive scramble into a proactive, confident process. The third pillar is secure, aligned collaboration. wathiq recognizes that collaboration is not just about convenience, it is about control. Our role-based access controls let you define precisely who can view, edit, comment, or approve documents down to the individual or group level. But we go beyond traditional permissions. With participant-governed access, document owners can set dynamic rules. This research draft can be edited by co-authors until submission date, then becomes read-only for reviewers. Or, for example, student records can be accessed by advisors only during enrollment periods. We also support data residency options, so you can ensure documents stay within the required geographic or jurisdictional boundaries. And all data is encrypted both in transit and at rest, with multi-factor authentication enforcement. This means you can collaborate confidently with internal teams, external partners, or even cross-border institutions, knowing that the security and compliance travel with the document, not just the platform. Now let us walk through the wathiq workflow step by step. Step 1. Upload. When you add a document to wathiq, whether it is a research dataset, a policy manual, or a student transcript, the system immediately generates a cryptographic hash. Think of this as a unique digital DNA or signature for that exact file version. We then anchor this hash with a trusted timestamp, optionally recording it into a blockchain ledger for additional tamper evidence. This creates an immutable record of the document's existence and state at the moment in time. No future alteration can change this foundational proof. This step happens automatically in seconds with no extra effort from the user, but it establishes the bedrock of trust for everything that follows. From this point forward, any change to the document will produce a new, distinct hash, creating a verifiable chain of versions. Step 2. Verify. Once the document is fingerprinted, the wathiq AI engine springs into action. It does not just check the hash, it performs a multi-layered analysis. First, it validates the metadata consistency. Do the author, creation date, and modification history align with expected patterns? Second, it scans structural elements. Does the document format match its claimed type? Are there hidden macros or embedded objects that warrant a review? Third, it assesses provenance signals. Does this document origin and edit history match the trusted sources? The AI is trained on millions of document patterns to detect subtle anomalies that might indicate tampering, Policy violations. If everything checks out, the document receives a verified status. If not, you get a clear actionable alert with details on what triggered the flag. This is not about creating more work, it's about preventing bigger problems downstream. Step 3. Collaborate. With verification complete, your team can begin working, but within a trust-engineered framework. You assign roles like viewers, editors, approvers, auditors, each with precisely defined permissions. When someone accesses or modifies the document, wathiq logs the action immutably, like who, what, when, and from where. These logs are not just for show. They power real-time visibility. Project leads can see activity dashboards. The security teams can monitor for unusual access patterns. Compliance officers can trace decision trails. And because all collaboration happens within the wathiq secure environment, there is no need to email attachments or use unsanctioned cloud links, eliminating shadow IT risks. Plus, with participant-governed rules, you can automate workflow transitions. When all co-authors approve, move to review stage. After submission deadline, log edits and notify auditors. Collaboration becomes not just easier, but inherently more accountable. Step 4. Report. This is where wathiq turns all that verified activity into actionable evidence. Need to demonstrate FERPA compliance for a student records review? Select the relevant documents and time frame, choose the FERPA template, and click Export. wathiq compiles the immutable logs, verification statuses, access records, and workflow history into a professionally formatted report ready for auditors, accreditors, or legal counsel. The same works for GDPR data subject requests, CMMC evidence packages, or internal policy audits. No more manual log aggregation. No more spreadsheet wrestling. No more late night prep for an inspection. And because reports are generated from the same immutable source of truth as your operational workflows, there is zero risk of reporting version versus live version discrepancies. This is not just a time saver, it is a confidence builder for your entire compliance posture. You might be wondering, why is wathiq relevant now? The answer is convergence. First, regulatory pressure is intensifying globally. FERPA updates, GDPR enforcement, CMMC rollout, all demanding stronger document governance. Second, remote and hybrid work models have shattered traditional perimeter security, making document-level trust essential. Third, cyber threats targeting intellectual property and sensitive data are escalating, raising the stakes for every file shared. Fourth, stakeholders from students to research participants to funding agencies increasingly expect transparency and control over their data. These are not isolated trends. They are reinforcing each other. Organizations can no longer afford document workflows that assume good faith. They need systems that verify trust. That is the gap that wathiq fills, and the timing has never been better. So why wathiq specifically? Because we have solved the integration challenge others avoid. Many tools offer either encryption or audit logs or basic AI. But trust requires all three, working together seamlessly. wathiq's technical edge is our unified architecture. Cryptographic hashing provides mathematical proof of integrity. Models add intelligent anomaly detection. Workflow automation embeds compliance into daily tasks. Crucially, these are not bolted-on features. They are core to our design. The AI uses the cryptographic layer as ground truth. The automation rules trigger based on verification outcomes. So why wathiq specifically? Because we have solved the integration challenges others avoid. Many tools offer either encryption or audit logs or basic AI. But trust requires all three, working together seamlessly. wathiq's technical edge is our unified architecture. Cryptographic hashing provides mathematical proof of integrity. AI models add intelligent anomaly detection. Workflow automation embeds compliance into daily tasks. Crucially, these are not bolted-on features. They are core to our design. The AI uses the cryptographic layer as ground truth. The automation rules trigger based on verification outcomes. The audit logs capture every AI decision and crypto event. This deep integration means you get enterprise-grade security without enterprise-grade complexity. No need to hire a cryptographer to configure hashes or a data scientist to tune AI models. We have done that heavy lifting, so your team can focus on their mission with confidence. Technology alone is not enough. Trust is also about who is building it. wathiq is developed by the Applied Technology Research Center, ATRC, where I have had the privilege of leading for over 3 decades. Our team has deep hands-on experience in every domain related to wathiq servers. We have managed university IT infrastructure, designed cybersecurity frameworks for research institutions, and developed educational technologies used by thousands of learners. We have sat in the chairs of the users we are designing for. That means we understand not just the technical requirements, but the human realities, the pressures of accreditation reviews, the urgency of grand deadlines, the sensitivity of student data. We are not outsiders selling a generic solution. We are insiders building the tool we wished we had. That domain mastery informs every design decision, every feature priority, and every line of code in wathiq. Perhaps most importantly, wathiq is being built with you, not just for you. We believe the best solutions emerge from deep collaboration with end users. That is why we are actively engaging researchers, educators, IT leaders, and compliance professionals in the design process through interviews, advisory circles, and pilot programs. Your feedback directly influences feature development, workflow logic, and usability priorities. This is not token consultation. It is genuine co-creation. For example, early input from university registrars shaped our student records workflow templates. Feedback from cybersecurity teams refined our zero trust access models. Suggestions from research administrators improved our grant compliance reporting. By engaging now, you're not just getting a future product, you're helping define what the product becomes. Your challenges become our priorities. Your insights become our innovations. At this stage, wathiq is in a deliberate validation phase. We are not rushing to market. We are taking the time to ensure we are solving the right problems in the right way for the right users. That means we are prioritizing feedback over funding, learning over launching. We are reaching out to professionals like you, not to sell, but to listen. What are your biggest document workflow pain points? Which features would deliver the most value? What concerns or questions do you have about a trust-engineered approach? Your candid input helps us refine our value proposition, prioritize our development roadmap, and ultimately build a product that truly earns your trust. This phase is critical. It is how we avoid building something clever but irrelevant. And it is why your participation matters so much. So here is my ask of you today. Please take 90 seconds to share your perspective. We have kept it simple, just one question. What is your biggest document workflow challenge? Send to wathiq@remote-support.space. That is it. No lengthy forms, no commitment, just your honest insight. Why 90 seconds? Because we respect your time, and because even a single sentence from you can spark a meaningful improvement. Maybe you will mention version confusion, slowing down research collaboration. Maybe you will highlight the stress of manual compliance reporting. Maybe you will suggest a future we have not considered. Whatever you share, we will read it, categorize it, and use it to guide our next steps. This feedback channel is open, confidential, and valued. And remember, this is not an investment solicitation. We are validating demand and refining value, nothing more. If you are a researcher or educator, your engagement is especially valuable. Academic workflows have unique demands: multi-institutional collaborations, grant reporting cycles, student privacy requirements, and long-term data preservation needs. By sharing your specific challenges, whether it's managing documentation, tracking dataset versions across labs, or securing student project submissions, you help us prioritize features that align with academic realities. For example, your input could shape how we handle citation integrity checks, or how we integrate with learning management systems, or how we support open science standards. We're not building a generic tool and hoping it fits academia. We are building an academic grade tool from the ground up, and we need your expertise to get it right. For security and IT leaders, we invite a deeper technical engagement. We are sharing architecture specifications, threat models, and integration patterns for your review. Stress test our zero trust assumptions, challenge our encryption approaches, advise on deployment scenarios for your environment. By joining our advisory circle, you help ensure wathiq meets the rigorous standards your organization requires. This is not just about product feedback, it is about co-developing a security paradigm that works in practice, not just theory. Your expertise in identity management, network security, and incident response can shape how wathiq handles edge cases, scales securely, and integrates with existing security stacks. Together, we can build a document trust layer that security teams actually trust. Compliance officers, your perspective is critical to wathiq's credibility. We are inviting you to audit our workflow logic. Do our immutable logs truly meet evidence standards? Do our pre-built templates align with regulatory language? Are our export formats accepted by your auditors? By co-designing compliance templates with you, we ensure they are not just technically sound but legally defensible. Share your audit checklists, your reporting requirements, your pain points during inspections. Help us bridge the gap between technical implementation and regulatory expectation. When compliance teams trust the tool, the entire organization benefits, with faster audits, fewer findings, and stronger stakeholder confidence. Even if you're not directly in research, education, IT, or compliance, you can still contribute. Maybe you work with teams who face these challenges. Maybe you're part of professional associations where these conversations happen. Spreading the word about the wathiq Feedback Initiative, you help us reach the voices that matter the most. Share our contact email, mention this presentation, connect us with colleagues who would benefit from shaping a trust-engineered solution. Community-driven development only works with community participation. Your referral is not just helpful, it is essential to ensuring that wathiq serves the broadest range of trust-critical workflows. Before we close, I need to share important legal disclosures. First and foremost, this presentation is informational and for feedback purposes only. We are not soliciting money, investments, or any form of consideration at this time. No offer to sell securities can be accepted until a formal offering statement is filed with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission. Any indication of interest you provide involves no obligation or commitment of any kind. If in the future we proceed with a regulated capital raise, it will be conducted exclusively through an SEC-registered funding portal, with full disclosure documents provided to all potential participants. Today is about learning, not fundraising. Your feedback is invaluable, but it comes with no strings attached. We are committed to transparency, compliance, and ethical engagement at every stage. So what is the single most important action you can take today? Share your perspective. It takes less than 30 seconds to email wathiq at remote-support.space with one sentence about your biggest document workflow challenge. That is it. No form to fill, no login required, just your insight sent directly to our product team. Why does this matter? Because the more diverse the input we receive, the more robust and relevant wathiq becomes. Your challenge might be the exact problem we solve next. Your suggestion might become a flagship feature. By participating, you're not just a passive observer, you're an active co-creator. and we genuinely appreciate every response. Finally, if you have questions, ideas, or just want to discuss document trust challenges in more depth, please reach out directly. I read every message personally and I welcome thoughtful dialogue. Whether you are exploring a potential pilot, have technical questions about our architecture, or simply want to share a use case we have not considered, I am here to listen. This is not a one-way presentation, it is the start of a conversation. And conversations like trust are built on one genuine exchange at a time. Thank you truly for your time, your attention, and your willingness to engage. Building a trust engineered future for document management is not something we can do alone. It requires the collective wisdom, experience, and courage of professionals like you who face these challenges every day. Every piece of feedback you share, every question you ask, every suggestion you offer helps us move closer to a world where document trust is verifiable, not vulnerable, engineered, not assumed. That is the mission of wathiq. And with your partnership, it is a mission we believe we can achieve. Thank you for helping shape something meaningful.